As you might know, the UK has entered a second lockdown, and of course one of the smaller parts of that is that cinemas in England and the rest of the UK, as far as I know, are now closed. However, the wizards at Odeon, the largest cinema chain in the UK, sent out an ingenious email which reached me, one of their many attendees, the other day, saying I should make my own cinema-style nacho cheese, and how could I turn down that offer? And because I'm not one to half-arse this kind of simulacrum of a vital arts experience that I'm being forced into by a global pandemic, I'm also going to be making the Tango Ice Blast, a humble drink that non-Brits might recognise as kind of like a slushie, but a bit more shit. So I'm just gonna turn on the hob. That's a little tip for you cooks at home. This is the recipe that Odeon sent to me, right? And it's a bit of a weird email. Let's have a look at that picture first. Nice and blurry, out of focus, but I'll cut it in, don't worry. Nacho cheese sauce is so stinking delicious. And here at Odeon, we're proud of the success of our special recipe. Try to make yours at home, but like it's a challenge. But be aware that our actual Odeon cheese sauce is a closely guarded recipe, so results may vary. So this isn't actually their recipe, right? Just to be clear, and it does sound terrible, so maybe it's good that it's not their recipe. What we'll need, 2 cups of full fat cream. Now, I've made nacho cheese before, right? And I've never had to put cream in it. That strikes me as a weird thing. That strikes me as kind of weird for nacho cheese to have cream in it, let alone a full pint. That much fucking cream. It's good to stay hydrated. That's a huge amount of cream, and I'm not Nigel Slater. I don't feel comfortable putting that much cream in any single dish. Hey, just to jump in here, as you'll see later on, this didn't go that well, and maybe you actually should put in that much cream. I mean, maybe just a smaller amount of cream, maybe not a whole pint, but as it turns out, I probably should have followed the recipe more, so listen to current me, not past me. Thank you. Enjoy. What I've done is I've halved all the ingredients here, because also I thought I probably don't need like literally pints worth of queso, right? And then it's basically like a roux. You're basically making a roux, so let's give that a crack and see. And you notice that I've done like a nice little nigella back here. Got all my ingredients pre-made. We've got the lowest quality tortilla chips I could find. That's good. Should also say, not mentioned in the recipe. So they're just talking about the cheese. This is butter, if you've heard of that before. It's a new ingredient people are using now. Flour. And there's the cheese, and if you're wondering what this little hairy customer is, that's the water from jalapenos. I've got a really charming unit of measurement here. This is like not metric or imperial. 1 small jar of jalapenos, brackets, Uncle Ben's jar. I didn't buy Uncle Ben's, so this might be wrong. For many reasons, but this is one of them. Anyway, roux time.
Do like an incredulous face looking at the thumbnail. Look at me. That's fun. That's fun. Do less of the face. Do a variety of different faces. That's good.
That is now a lumpy roux. It's pretty rare that a recipe specifies a lumpy as a texture, you know? Usually it's like less lumps. This one's like, we need the lumps. That's where the vitamins are. Looking at the picture they have on their recipe on the website, it does look like a really anemic sort of sauce. Because I think of nacho sauce as being like almost luminescent orange, you know? If you weren't wired to a camera, you could use this time to make your Tango Ice Blast, and then you'd have a nice tasty companion to take you through the rest of the making process. Shout out to all those people who joined the channel looking at my nice, like carefully made how to make a video essay content, and now just watching this chaotic shit happen. Sorry gang. Welcome to my uneven content schedule. Very thoughtful St. Maud review, nice video essay thinking about my childhood. Boom! Making fun of mass mailers from chain cinemas. What a world.
Oh, this looks horrible.
What about the amount of oil that's come off there?
Disgusting.
Disgusting? How you doing? Seen the good movies recently? Hope you haven't been leaving the house for non-essential reasons.
Put it in an envelope and send it to Odeon.
have to let it dry out for a bit first. I'm pretty sure sending this through the post would be an act of terrorism, so. Hey, it's voiceover Will here again, just thanks for hanging on in this video. By this point we've realised it was going to be a pretty bad lunch and we did actually want to eat this nacho cheese, so we started to think about ways we could improve it. We decided to add a little bit of cheese and some more flour to give it a better consistency. And you know, drain it. You're just too good to eat cheese.
Take a small break.
Leave it in. What would Werner Herzog do? He'd leave it in. So, oh, Phoebe's toast is here. Hello. Someone's joined the party. We already did this, we didn't film it, but we just thought you'd like to see how this thing moves. We drained off some of the oil, and now it's like in a nice presentation pot. And that's the timer. And here it is. So let's see what the texture of the cheese is like. It's be quite forceful. The thing is it's not really a dippable cheese sauce, it's just melted cheese. There really needs to be more roux in it, if we're gonna get technical. It has that real school toasty taste to it, where it's just mild cheddar and no flavouring. If you remember correctly, the recipe doesn't feature anything about flavouring. The closest thing this thing gets to seasoning is water from the jar of a jalapeno. So what I'm actually going to do is chuck it back in the pan and put in some chili powder, some cumin, some paprika, and definitely some salt and pepper, and then it might actually be my lunch. Sound good? I'm glad you think so. We're really on the same wavelength, me and you. We should hang out more. Okay, so back on my bullshit, we're going to be making ourselves a tango ice blast now, which, like I said, is kind of like a bad slushie. And I have to give a shout out to Just Snackin' on TikTok, who is the only person I've ever seen post anything online about making their own facsimile tango ice blast at home. So I'm going to be following his recipe, but again, I'm just going to substitute random shit in because it's worked so well up to now. I went with Tango Tropical here because I thought it matched the colour scheme. Unfortunately, I couldn't get anything that was like blue or purple, which is what everyone normally has in a Tango Ice Blast, but we're not here to do just exactly what Odeon wants us to do, okay? We're here to have our own cinema experience at home, so here's my version. And now it's time for that final lockdown essential element, which Odeon would never do because cowards. You could do it with any kind of liquor. Bailey's works just as well for if you want a kind of creamier Tango Ice Blast finish. I was going to wait until I watched the movie, but I don't think this is going to get any better. So let's give this a taste test and see. I mean, the smell's definitely there, and the vodka really picks it up. It tastes like Fanta Fruit Twist. Now we've got our snacks, it's time to really set up the cinema at home experience. I've got a nice big TV which supports 4K, but don't worry, I'll watch the movie in normal HD. To feel a bit more like I'm with an audience, I've set up an iPhone over here at max brightness to scroll through IMDb while messages from my mate's WhatsApp group come in, arranging a Weatherspoons meetup, and this iPad is set up to loop a Family Guy Best Bits compilation I found on YouTube. Oh, one more thing. Hey Google, play intermittent munching sounds.
I looked for munching sounds, but it either isn't available or can't be played right now.
So now we have the perfect cinema at home experience. It's time to sit back and enjoy the magic of Disney's Mulan. What do you mean 30 quid on top of a subscription fee? Well, I'm not paying that. That's ridiculous. Thanks for watching this video. Despite all my digs at the occasional difficulties of the cinema going experience, and with severe apologies to the people who run Odeon's marketing, because that was a really good email list most of the time, and I'm sorry I didn't follow the recipe right, it was really my fault that it fucked up as much as it did. I've got to say, I'm a big believer that nothing at home, no matter how good your AV system is or how good your food is, can really replace the experience of going to the cinema. There's just something about being able to sit down with your friends, your family, or just strangers, sit in this big dark room together and become fully immersed in a world of images, stories, and characters. That's what makes up an excellent film, and that's what's so magical about the film-going experience. And at the moment, around the world, cinemas are struggling, and not just the big chains, especially the independent cinemas, which offer such an amazing range of films and yet have to kind of run their businesses right at the edge of profit a lot of the time. So if you can, and I know that money is tight at the moment, reach out to your local independent cinemas and see how you can support them. Whether that's through profit sharing, video on demand, open tickets, memberships, or another kind of fundraiser, everything helps. And fingers crossed, we'll be able to be back in the cinemas soon. But until then, sit down and eat your terrible nachos, slurp back that homemade tango ice blast with a Russian twist, and watch Trolls World Tour for the 20th time. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.